of the evening. I see some food coming out. This experiment involves...
The food is not the experiment, don't worry. The food is not the experiment.
Oh my. When you keel over, make sure you fall on the belt. I shouldn't say that about the place I'm working. I've had the food, it's great. No, this experiment involves the bells, and it makes use of a wonderful little quirk. I think it's just a coincidence that we have 7 notes in our awesome scale, and 7 colors-ish in our rainbow. Oh, there they are. Look at that. They look a little funky, I think it's the projector. But maybe it's just me, we'll do that later. So, there are some bells. Every table has at least a bell, or 2. And this game experiment involves only the bells with a K flag on them. So if you don't have a K on your bell, you can sit tight. We will use them again later. So just the Ks, all right? The K bells are color coordinated to go with the notes in the scale. Which are they? C, D, F, G, A, B. We're going to slightly alter this. We're going to take the C off the bottom and put it on the top. And then we're going to change the B to a B flat because we're in F major instead of C major. But that should match everybody's K bells. I'm going to teach you how to play the tune to the next song that we're doing on the bells. Let's just take a look. This is the first phrase. It starts on the D. Who's got the D bell? Oh, there it is. Where's our E? F, G, A, B flat, C. Hey, nope. Gretchen just wants to be involved. She can't stop being involved. We'll get that D sharp later. Anyone know the tune yet? Let's hear the second phrase. Second phrase starts the D on the D again. E, F, G, A, B flat, C, and back to the B flat, back to the B flat, yep, and then 2 A's. Wonderful. Third phrase starts on the A, fine. B flat, another A, it's hard to see. 2 G's. Thank you, get it together. An F, another G. Who's on that G back there? Is that Mariana? And then an A? You got that A already? And then our last phrase starts on the D. Up to the G. A. B flat. C. B flat. A. F. That was really lovely. Anyone know the tune? No one knows the tune? The tune is I Get a Kick Out of You by the wonderful Cole Porter. So we're all going to play it. Here's how it's going to work, just so we're all on the same page. All right. I'm going to sing the song. The song consists of a verse, a bridge, and a verse. After I sing the song, you all hear the lyrics. Then we're going to try playing the tune. Okay? Not until I'm finished singing the song. If you want to practice, you can sort of air bell to practice. Just make sure you know where it is. Okay? All right, and then you're going to get 3 shots because there's a verse, and a bridge in which you don't play the bells, and then another verse. So you get 3 shots at it after that. Is everyone ready?
Yeah! Is everyone ready?
I'm paying him for the falsetto and for the firing up the crowd.
Yeah, you are! Woo!
The hype man.
All right, so we'll clear that for a second, so you don't get any ideas. We'll start the song. The song begins like all good old songs begin, with an actual verse that you never hear. Gretchen knows what I'm talking about. And it goes like this. My story is much too sad to be told, but practically everything leaves me totally cold. The only exception I know is the case when I'm out on a quiet spree, fighting vainly the old ennui, and I suddenly turn to see your fabulous face. I get no kick from champagne. Your alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you? Some get their kick from cocaine. I know that if I took even one sniff, it would bore me terrifically too. But I get a kick out of you. I get a kick every time I see you standing there before me. I get a kick, though it's clear to me you obviously don't adore me. I get no kick on a plane, flying too high with some guy in the sky is my idea of nothing to do. But I get a kick out of you. Okay, here we go. Da, 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 da. All right, that was terrible. All right, one more time. No, don't give up. You guys have one more shot. One more shot. Here we go. All right. That was, all things considered, I think that was okay. I don't know, maybe you guys know where the loose link in the chain was. It wasn't Glenn, I'm sure it wasn't Glenn. Might have been Mariana, I don't know. It's 8:30, so I don't know where the 2-drink or the 3-drink link in the chain is. Well, that was wonderful. I really, can you give yourself another round of applause? All of you who have bells and didn't get to ring them and thought, oh man, I could have done such a better job. Just know you'll get another chance in the second half. So I picked this song partly because we could do this awesome game, and partly because I know some interesting facts about the song that I wanted to share. I really admire Cole Porter as a lyricist for his way with words, but also for the sheer number of words that he came up with. He seems to have spare verses up the wazoo. 600, big wazoo. If any of you saw Kiss Me Kate recently out at Clackamas, I don't know if some of you saw it, maybe. I went and saw it, great production, and noticed that the songs are so long. Brush Up Your Shakespeare has like 10 verses. Granted, there are how many Shakespeare plays to rhyme, Aubrey? A million Shakespeare plays to rhyme. But I was really impressed. And this song is no exception. That last verse I sang, before your valiant attempt at the bells, if you remember, was about flying too high in a plane. That's not actually the original verse. Some of you may have heard this. The original verse was still about plane flight, and it went like this. I get no kick in a plane. I shouldn't care for those nights in the air. Let the fair Mrs. Lindbergh goes through, but I get a kick out of you. It's a clever verse, it really is. The problem with the verse was that shortly after it was written, the Lindbergh baby was kidnapped. And so, much like these days, they pull movies after there are big disasters that seem to be foreshadowed in the movie. I don't remember. I can't believe I'm bringing up 9/11 at my first show. This is ridiculous. I can't believe I just did that. So anyway, he pulled the verse and he replaced it with something a little less confrontational, I guess is the word. That second verse I sang, which is about cocaine. Any of you catch that? Cocaine verse. They made the movie of Anything Goes, which is the show that this song is in 1936, and back then Hollywood was a little stricter with what you could put in the pictures, and so they made him change the verse. So he changed the rhyme from some get a kick from cocaine to some dig the perfume in Spain, so he could leave the whole thing about sniffing. I think it's very clever. Again, a little less confrontational. So I did some digging, and I found two other really, really fascinating lost verses for this song that I bet none of you have ever heard. The first one is actually the original, the very first verse he ever wrote. He wrote it, the song, he wrote it 20 years before Anything Goes. He wrote it as a jingle, oddly enough, an advertising jingle for a new ocean liner that was all the rage back then, called the RMS Lusitania. Anyone heard of it? And it went like this. Some dig the new Lusitania, not just a ship, but a hip way to trip and to slip past the German U crew. But I get a kick out of you. For those of you who are noticing other people laughing, you should go take a remedial 12th grade history class. Tony also told me not to insult my audience. So I thought that was really fascinating. I learned that about that. The last thing I want to share about this song was in the 80s, long after Cole Porter died, his granddaughter, Natalie Cole Porter, she put out a tribute album of all his songs, and she included this one, because you can't not do this song. But she wanted to update it a little bit. You know, it was the 80s. So she changed the last verse, that one about plane flight. Lovely verse. She changed it to just make it a little more modern. She made it about space flight. Unfortunately, this was like a month before the Challenger disaster. I know, it was a shame. So the record company, they yanked it. They yanked it right off the shelves, which is why you've never heard this verse. Some get a kick on the moon, landing a berth on a flight far from Earth isn't worth all the hullabaloo, 'cause I get a kick out of you. Another round of applause for Sam, Julio, and Mark for keeping that band going for 10 minutes. We're going to take a break. Please socialize. Go check out student loan merchandise.